Hi, good day. This is once again Teacher Rika, your math teacher. Today we will talk about algebraic expressions and other related terms. What are examples of algebraic expressions? We have a squared, y minus 4, 3x squared plus 5x minus 7. So an algebraic expression is an expression which consists of numbers, groupings and variable, and operation symbols. Variables are the letters we use from A to Z. Parts of algebraic expressions separated by plus or minus signs are called terms. For example, a squared is a single term or one-term algebraic expression. Y minus 4 has two terms. Y and negative 4 are the two terms. 3x squared plus 5x minus 7 has three terms, which includes 3x squared, 5x, and negative 7. A term is made up of literal and numerical coefficients. For example, in 9x, the numerical coefficient is 9 and its literal coefficient is x. In negative 3m squared n, the numerical coefficient is negative 3 and the literal coefficient is m squared n. In ab cube c, the numerical coefficient is 1 there, so 1 is invisible. If we cannot see any numerical coefficient on a term, it's understood that it's either 1 or negative 1. The literal coefficient is ab cubed c, and in negative y, the numerical coefficient is negative 1, and the literal coefficient is y. Numerical coefficients are often simply called coefficients. Sometimes a term has no variable or literal coefficient. In 2n cubed minus 5n squared plus n minus 11, negative 11 has no variable and called a constant. So let's study the given algebraic expression. How many terms does 2n cubed minus 5n squared plus n minus 11 have? So it has four terms. What are the terms? We have 2n cubed, negative 5n squared, n, and negative 11. So as you see, the signs of the terms are the operations that precedes it. So for 5n squared, its sign is negative because the operation that precedes 5n squared is minus. So in here, n is positive because the operation that precedes it is plus, and we have negative 11. So the first term here is positive. What are the numerical coefficients? For 2n cubed, the numerical coefficient is 2. For negative 5n squared, the numerical coefficient is negative 5. For n, the numerical coefficient is 1. And for negative 11, its numerical coefficient is negative 11. How about the literal coefficient? For 2n cubed, the literal coefficient is n cubed. For negative 5n squared, it's n squared. For n, that's also n, and there's none for negative 11. And the constant is negative 11. So let's have some practice. I will be giving you some algebraic expressions and you try to fill out the table. If we're given negative 1 plus w squared, how many terms are there? So there are two. What are the terms? Negative 1 and w squared. What are the numerical coefficients? Negative 1 and 1. And the literal coefficient, for the first one, there's none, and the second one is w squared. How about if we're given ab squared plus 9a minus 1? How many terms are there? There are three. What are the terms? ab squared, 9a, and negative 1. And what are the numerical coefficients for each term? 1, 9, and negative 1. And the literal coefficient, it's ab squared, a, and there's none for the last one because it's a constant. How about if we're given negative 1 half x squared, y cubed, z to the fourth? There's only one term, and that term is the algebraic expression itself. And what's the numerical coefficient? It's negative 1 half. And the literal coefficient is x squared, y cubed, z to the fourth. So as your exercise, you can complete the table given the following algebraic expressions. You can pause the video for you to be able to answer or complete the table. So that ends our discussion about algebraic expressions and other related terms. I hope you're following our previous lessons, and goodbye for today. See you for the next lesson.